I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch network. MAGA Republicans keep on making TV appearances, and the TV appearances keep on backfiring because when they show you who they are, just believe them, folks. I mean, these people are extremists, they are radical, they are very dangerous, and they make the movie Idiocracy seem like a very intelligent motion picture. First, let me show you MAGA Republican Senator from Florida, Rick Scott. Rick Scott, prior to his political career, was the leader of one of the biggest Medicare fraud settlements in American history. He invoked the fifth. I plead the fifth. I plead the fifth. That's, I guess, a common thing for MAGA Republicans. He then parlayed his criminal conduct into a golden parachute, used his golden parachute to run for political office. The Republicans in the Senate then said, you know what? Let's let that guy be in charge of all of our money for all of these Senate campaigns. And I think hundreds of millions of dollars went missing in the past election cycle. And they were like, where did all that money go? Maybe we shouldn't have given it to the guy who was involved in the biggest Medicare fraud in American history. Also, the guy who wants to cut Social Security, literally created the plan for cutting Social Security. But anyway, a long-winded way of saying, here is Rick Scott saying that he's going to do everything in his power to make sure we have more abortions. Here, play the clip.
First off, I'm pro-life. I believe we've got to do everything we can to make sure we have more abortions. We make sure it's a tough choice for women. So,
you know, here's the thing about that. When your positions are so disingenuous and when you have to rely on just like your fascist talking points, yeah, sometimes you forget your talking point and you malfunction the way Rick Scott did right there. By the way, speaking of malfunctioning, did you see DeSantis dysfunction or malfunction, how dysfunctional he was and how he malfunctioned when he was on this international trip in Israel? Here, play this clip where he's getting a question from a reporter and then he just starts saying like, why are you saying that to me? It's really weird. Play this clip.
During your time at Guantanamo, did you witness any incidents?
No, none of all that's BS. No, totally BS.
Governor
Yep.
DeSantis, you say you were present during those meetings. Is that
Who said that?
Detainees have told us that.
How would they know me? Okay, think about that. Do you honestly believe that's credible? So this is 2006. I'm a junior officer. Do you honestly think that they would have remembered me from Adam? Of course not. They're just trying to get into the news because they know people like you will consume it because it fits your preordained narrative that you're trying to spin. Focus on the facts and stop worrying about narrative.
All right, that was DeSantis. All right, now back to Rick Scott saying that one of the major policies the MAGA Republicans should do is we want to make sure that there are armed guards in all schools. And then the host goes, so you think that's popular to have armed guards in schools? And Rick Scott says, yeah, absolutely. Play the clip.
This Fox poll on guns, that's not good news for Republicans. I mean, you're staking your claim to authority on, don't do anything with gun laws. You've got enough already.
yeah. Well, first off, I think we ought to enforce all the gun laws we have,
Right.
but let's also figure out how do we make people safe. I put a bill out this week. It's the Guardian School Act. It's to do what I did in Florida, put armed guards in all of our schools. We have the resources. Rather than spend the IRS money, add all these 87,000
Do you
IRS
think that would
agents.
be popular, Senator?
I would
Teachers,
make kids safe.
people with guns in schools, more guns in schools?
Absolutely. I want there to be a deterrent for anybody that wants to harm one of our kids, and I want to make sure there's somebody there in case somebody shows up to harm our kids. We did it in Florida. We have it in every public school in Florida. We have an armed security in every public school in Florida. We need to do that for every school across the country. Make sure every kid is safe, every school is safe.
Perhaps Rick Scott should, I don't know, and MAGA Republicans can look at the data. How about a Fox News poll? Okay. How about a poll that traditionally skews very right wing, but according to this Fox News poll, here's what American people want. 87% want background checks, 81% more enforcement of existing gun laws, 81% want to make the legal age of 21 to buy all guns, 80% of Americans want to ban assault weapons. 80%, by the way, want to ban assault weapons. That is a big number right there. Let's go to Kevin McCarthy, And in this clip, Kevin McCarthy basically, I'm not even sure what the point he's trying to make. He's telling Disney that Disney shouldn't be able to have a perspective about respecting its LGBTQ plus employees. They shouldn't have that view if they want to do business. Play this clip.
Run your business and don't think you should get into politics.
Okay, but run your business and don't get into politics, meaning you can't take ever a position on anything? I mean,
well, you can take whatever position you want. You can take whatever position you want, but remember, if you're elected to run a business, that's what your shareholders want you to do. Look, when I was young and I played a game Frogger, since you had Bobby on doing games, the only time I got ran over when I got out of my lane. So the one thing I think, if you're elected, do your job, and things will work out okay.
But retribution, just that aspect of it. I mean, I would think you wouldn't want Democrats or Republicans going after companies that are big businesses, right?
Well, I think if you listen to my first answer to this question, that's actually what I said. Sit down and find your differences and solve them.
Stephen Douglas on Twitter said, essentially, Kevin McCarthy is telling Disney, just shut up and dribble. Meanwhile, on the MAGA Republican side, right, you have, who's their really big supporter? The fascist pillow guy. They've got a fascist pillow guy who wants to overthrow the election with Donald Trump, who's literally in the White House. And they're cool with that. The fascist pillow guy goes into the White House to come up with a plan with Donald Trump to declare martial law, to appoint Kash Patel as the director of the CIA, to overthrow a free and fair election. Totally cool. Disney says, hey, we need to just respect the LGBTQ plus community, and we want to make sure that we respect all of our employees. And then what happens? Kevin McCarthy says, you shouldn't express that view.
Now let's take a quick break to talk about our next partner, Mosh. As the years progress, it's so important to stay on top of your mental health and fitness. Frankly, life, it gets busy, and sometimes you end up sacrificing good foods and snacks for unhealthy ones strictly because they may seem more convenient. Now, whether at the gym, on the go, or between meals with the fam, Mosh protein bars are the smart snack to keep your brain and body fit, fueled, and feeling good. With 6 delicious flavors, each Mosh bar comes packed with 12 grams of protein and made with ingredients that support brain health like ashwagandha, lion's mane, collagen, and omega-3s. At 160 calories and only 1 gram of sugar, Mosh protein bars are the guilt-free snack your brain and body will crave. Your brain, it's your number one tool, which is why Mosh protein bars were mindfully formulated by some of the world's top neuroscientists and functional nutritionists. Founded by Patrick Schwarzenegger and Maria Shriver, Mosh is a mission-driven brain health and wellness company that donates a portion of all proceeds to support women's brain research through the Women's Alzheimer's Movement at Cleveland Clinic. I absolutely love Mosh protein bars. They're delicious, they're savory, they're the perfect smart snack to keep your brain and body fit, fueled, and feeling good. We're constantly doing different videos or podcasts here, or just a bunch of different tasks. So I'm able to enjoy Mosh protein bars easily and enjoyably throughout the day whenever I need it. Don't settle with a mediocre snack when you can nourish your body and mind with the fuel it needs to succeed. So whether you're at the gym, on the go, or just living your best life, Mosh protein bars will keep your brain and body fit, fueled, and feeling good. Head to moshlife.com/Meidas to save 20% off plus free shipping on your first 6-count trial pack. That's 20% off plus free shipping on your first 6-count trial pack, which includes all 6 mouth-watering flavors. moshlife.com/Meidas.
This is MAGA Republican Congress member Dan Crenshaw. And Crenshaw, he's viewed in the MAGA Republicans. This just shows you how the Overton window on the MAGA Republican side has shifted legitimate political discourse, like how they've mainstreamed fascism. Because Dan Crenshaw's viewed as a moderate by the media, which he's not. He's an extremist. And here he is saying, he goes, we all know that Biden's in cognitive decline. Everybody knows. Here, play this clip.
This isn't a secret here that Biden probably isn't calling the shots and has been in cognitive decline for quite some time right now.
Yeah, so that's the person who passes who's supposed to pass as the moderate conservative. They're not conservative. They're right-wing extremists. Oh, let me show you this clip. First off, we got to show, as David Pepper said, every time that someone says that, they should show the split screen of the State of the Union where President Biden ate their lunch while the whole world was watching. Like, we saw what went down in the State of the Union. But here, let's play this clip of Donald Trump giving a speech last night. Play this clip.
I'm going to do it.
Oh, and then, of course, there wouldn't be a MeidasTouch report if I didn't show you who the new leader of the MAGA Republican Party is, Marjorie Taylor Greene on Newsmax. And she says, now that Tucker's been fired, the First Amendment is dead. Play the clip.
Big news of the week, Fox fired Tucker Carlson. Fox has gone left. They've gone woke. We're clearly calling them out for it. Tucker is a great voice for conservatives across the country. He doesn't have the platform anymore. Will you weigh in on Fox's decision to fire probably one of the more conservative voices, most important voices in America?
Absolutely. I think it was devastating to our First Amendment, Eric. I see it as a very serious problem. Our First Amendment is free speech, but it's also freedom of press. And when a gigantic media company like Fox News fires their number one, Tucker Carlson, not for him doing anything wrong, not because his ratings were bad, but they literally fired him because they caved to the woke mob. What we're seeing is the end of the First Amendment. That's how I see it. I can't see it any other way. We've seen censorship out of control. We saw the federal government, Department of Homeland Security, align with big tech to censor Americans for several years now on political issues because they weren't speaking the speech that was the chosen speech to say. Well, neither was Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson was pushing the limit every single night on his show, and he was telling the news stories that the American people wanted to hear. I also want to point out that many Democrats even watched Tucker Carlson's show, and he was making a true difference. But Fox News caved to the woke mob, and they are paying the price. I'm hearing from many people that have deleted their Fox News apps. I'm hearing from many people that have canceled their Fox Nation subscriptions. And this is a very poor choice for a company to fire their number one that is leading to direct results, that the same kind of results that Bud Light has experienced by promoting Dylan Mulvaney, a biological male that prances around like a prepubescent teenage girl. But they fired Tucker Carlson, and so they're going to feel the results from Americans that are not happy about this.
Yeah, I mean, so pathetic. And speaking of from pathetic to defamatory, this is Marjorie Taylor Greene spewing just complete and utter disinformation, QAnon style propaganda here. I mean, just utterly despicable stuff. And she's, the leader. Kevin McCarthy basically put her as the main Republican. She's on all the most powerful committees. And here she, just watch the clip.
It's interesting he's taking a shot at you and Gates. I mean, you're on the very powerful House Government Oversight Committee. He and some of his family members may be called up to testify in front of you. Where do things stand like that?
Well, if I have anything to do with it, absolutely they will be called up to testify, and some of their business associates that help them with what appears to be money laundering. What also concerns me is what I saw in financial records when I went to the Treasury Department, Eric, with what appears to be human sex trafficking. These are the type of crimes that we are looking into, or potential crimes. I'm pretty convinced they're crimes, though.
Well, and that's your modern day Republican Party, folks. So, what I want to do, why I show you these clips is assess it for yourself. Look at that for yourself. Are these the people who you want to be making life and death decisions over your life, over your children's life, your grandkids' life, your family's life, your community, your friends, your neighbors, your coworkers, this country? These people are not fit to hold essentially any job. Yet in the MAGA Republican Party of 2023, these are leaders. These are people who are making decisions over you. These are people who want to control your body. They want to use government to control you, tell you what to do, and it is utterly despicable, and we're going to call it out. We're not going to both sides this crap. And one thing that you may be noticing too is as large media networks, they start to decline, and you're seeing all those stories, right? They're cutting 10%, 30%. And MeidasTouch network continues to soar. Can I tell you why? It's because you can't both sides the issues. Americans are sick and tired of being gaslit by the both sides large media. We see these tapes, we see these clips. And when the media wants to act like, oh, this is there's Republicans and then there are Democrats. No, this is not normal stuff. This is sickening, despicable stuff. You want to see where the polling's at on these issues? You want to see where America's at on these issues? Americans want normalcy, humanity, decency, compassion, intelligence, and enough of this nonsense. I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch Network. Hit subscribe. We're on our way to 1.5 million subscribers thanks to your support. Hit subscribe. Really appreciate you. Until next time, I'm Ben Meiselas. Have a great day.
Hey Meidas Mighty, love this report? Continue the conversation by following us on Instagram @MeidasTouch to keep up with the most important news of the day. What are you waiting for? Follow us now.